Hello to all traders and welcome back to another market review brought to you by Orbex. So Donald Trump back in the headlines once again after he did announce over the weekend that he would delay the 50% taxes or tariffs on the European Union until July the 9th. And that has popped the Dow Jones over 400 points. Stocks have been more positive since the opening yesterday, and we're seeing that reflected on the charts at the moment. So we've got the Dow on the 4-hour chart. We're just seeing, obviously, when it was announced that potential tariffs will come into play, we saw a slump on the Dow Jones as well as the other American indices and a few stocks as well. But since then, a little bit more of a pickup. We're seeing basically the Dow giving up quite a lot of gains because it was on a nice bullish run for quite some time. We're going back into the middle of April now, so over a month. It was climbing nicely, and if we go all the way back, we're just trying to get this kind of V-shaped recovery since we had this heavy sell-off, which wasn't quite significant because then we had a really big monumentous fall due to more and more tariff wars from Donald Trump. But since then, obviously, he's pulled back on the Chinese tariffs. He's pulling back potentially on European tariffs. He made a nice deal with the UK. So a lot of stocks and traders were hoping that this would be the same for the European Union, but it hasn't really come into fruition. But since then, as you can see here, nice bounce, gaining over a few thousand points in a few weeks. But then obviously we've got this correction happening at the moment. So we're just waiting for stocks to kind of give us more direction, possibly move a little bit higher. But obviously, as I said before, the main fundamental news for most of the stocks, the dollar, indices, and gold is Donald Trump and what his next reaction and move will be. So let's just take a quick look on the S&P as well, because that was steadily having a nice upturn as well. This V-shaped recovery that we were seeing was potentially getting into the realm of possibility before a slight decline in price action. So again, are we going to have more and more negative movements in the market due to what the White House is battling with Wall Street? Obviously, the Fed will get involved if they start seeing inflation creeping higher as well, which could see some stagnant inflation as well. So lots to take into account. There's obviously so much going on in the market. We're just waiting to see the next signals. There was going to be always a slide to the downside because the RSI did get into the overbought, the vastly overbought area. So there was always going to be that pullback, but we'll just wait and see if that's going to have any repercussions and how long it's going to take as well, because we did have a pullback here. It didn't really take very long before we had this sharp bullish rise, and again another pullback to the downside at the moment. So we'll see what's going to happen. So we'll wait and see what happens in the next move for the Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P. But as always, we'll bring you all the latest in fundamentals and technicals as they come. So stick with us there, trade responsibly, and we'll speak again next time. Bye for now.